7.5 month transformation. Remember, don't break your dog. Create and build your dog.
In the video from Affiliated Canine, and right now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing two of my younger dogs in the house from outside, and they're going to go right away into their crates. I'm not even going to need to say anything because the conditioning is there. What encourages them to go in the crate? Sorry, my English sometimes stutters up. Not fearing the crate, bringing the crate to the ideology that good things happen in the crate. Having a resource in the crate, such as, let's say, food, water, a toy, some interactionary system in the crate to develop the connection of go crate to motivational, positive execution and reinforcement of that command or that learned ingrained behavior. I have a 19-month-old Dutch Belgium Malinois cross. And also I have a 18-month-old German Shepherd that I rescued about 7.5 months ago. The most important thing that you really have to realize is if you're going to get a dog trainer, any dog trainer, regardless if it's me or not me, if their approach is domination, force, pinning down a tactical, like forcible confinement system, that's not a dog trainer. That to me, that's an animal abuser. If their approach to resistance is a forceful conditioning to get the animal to comply to the command or the execution, that just shows you the lack of skill and the lack of intelligence of the so-called trainer and the dog. Well, the dog has the skill there. It's just you need to get it untapped. But really important that when you have a dog that is dominant, that is very different than having a dog that just doesn't want to listen because it hasn't been conditioned. When you have a dominant dog, to me, when someone says I have a dominant dog, that means that dog is willing and happily will show you that it means business and that it's boss. Very dangerous situation if you don't know how to handle a dominant dog. A lot of dogs that I get myself personally have been deemed dominant, dangerous dogs. They're only dangerous if you don't understand how to communicate with them. And communicating with them ultimately revolves around trust, guidance, building that connection of that bond, the chemistry. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a lot of patience and definitely skill. I'd rather have someone understand that the level of obedience, compliance, and respect that I achieve from my dogs, and my main goal is to guide and teach the client how to get that connection without using force. In my life, I've used 1,000 times more force on a human being that deserved it than any dog ever in the world. The understanding of having your dog work with you, be with you, more than just being in your house, is a lot of things that people don't get. When you use dogs for security, personal protection, self-defense, offensive striking, military, police, or any type of get 'em boy action, you really need to understand that you have a responsibility as well as a dedicated mindset to connect yourself with that animal. Because if you allow the training and the conditioning to have a go-get-'em attitude of personal protection, law enforcement, military, whatever the case be, like a mouth-gripping connection with you and your dog and a so-called combatant, you must ultimately never betray that trust. It's not that your dog's not going to get hit or maybe step on a landmine or get cracked in the face with a bat. These are all things that can happen, including getting shot. But those things should never happen from the handler. But the handler should modify and moderate the circumstances, the scenarios, and build that simulation in case it becomes a true reality. That's why training is so important, and that's why prepping is extremely important. And the strong will survive, but the prepped will thrive. A big difference. Hey! Ready, crate? Come on. Come on, let's go. All right. That's a yum yum. Look at all the dust in there. You just cleaned that yesterday. Yeah. Oh, yes, you're so good. All right. So he's my newer boy, okay? He gets a little weird here, okay? And yeah, floor's dirty. Fuck off. Okay, he gets a little weird here. He's obviously had a negative association with the crate. All right, yeah. Go in there. And I give him a second to come out, right? And then he goes in. I give him his little reassurance that, hey, it's not a big deal, right? The most important thing here is to realize the intensity of my intensity and the lack of intensity. If you understand dogs and you understand what you just saw, you saw a dog go in, clearly there's food there, so he's like, oh, let me go in there. But something in his brain said, maybe I don't want to be in here. And what's very important is not escalating your emotion to kind of push the animal in or through that gateway. But what's very important there is understanding what it's going through psychologically, providing it what it needs. You know, a little bit of a pat, you know, hey, you know, not a big deal, look, just do it, you know. But sending that message without creating the emotional intensity behind it, okay? And then they go in, casual, no problem. And this dog would lose his righteous marbles going into the creek. He would go in. As soon as that door would start to close, he would just get wild. And again, it's not about breaking the dog. No. It's not about taking the fight out of the dog. No, it's about allowing the dog to control its desire or urge to fight, and allowing it to have the skills to back away from the fight, knowing that it still has the option to fight. That's the key thing there. Right, it's not about breaking the animal. No, it's a good way to get broken. I've had him here 7 months now. 8.5, about 8 months, yeah. I mean, I eat your food, girl. Choppa, good girl, picky girl. Yeah, that's a good girl, yeah. He was very underweight. He wasn't doing well, and he's doing awesome now. Remember, it's always important to start with communication. Remember, it's not a person. You can't just step on its, on its life and soul and think that it's going to be okay. And that would only be okay on a human being if they tried to step on your life and soul. But when you're talking to a dog or being friends with a dog, remember that it only wants to be there for you. A human being only wants to be there for you. Doesn't matter who it is, because they want something from you. Even your own mother wants something from you. And that could be love, or that could be to you, for you to do what they believe you should do, in their opinion. But a dog is really there for you. And remember, owning a dog and having a dog and touching a dog is an earned privilege, not a right. Yeah. It's an earned privilege. And even there, she barked, I communicated back. keep in mind, your animal is going to be in a crate or in the house, and it's going to hear something, or it's going to want to express itself. If you result in yelling at your animal, shut up! But why would it tell you when there's a burglar outside? If you do that to the animal, it's going to be hesitant. It's going to be conditioned that there's going to be a negative response to communicating. So remember, the little things that we do now in our lives to the animal will have a long-lasting effect to the animal, regardless of age or situation. You know, far too many times I've seen people say, "Oh, I have a really badass dog," and they do. Oh, they do. I go there a few times, become friends with the animal, connect with the animal in a way that the owner says, "Well, I've never seen my dog behave this way." And then the owner starts saying, "Oh, even my friends, you know, people like I affiliate with, they say, oh, you know, the dog would never, would protect me 100%. I'm like, you think so? You want to test it? And he's like, yeah, how do we test it? Oh, let's just play fight. Let's just play fight. No blood, no poking, nothing like that. But let's play fight. Let's get into a little bit of a, tussle. And make it look real. Like, back up a bit, get close, and we'll see who the dog picks. And you wouldn't believe how many times another person's dog that's not my dog, and this person has had a dog, let's say, for 10 months. You wouldn't want to do this before 10 months, okay? And 10 months up to 7 years. Remember, dogs go where the resource goes. And in a fight, or in a battle, or in a war, or a moment of life and death, if your dog don't like you, and it's trained to do that kind of stuff, be careful that it doesn't decide to switch teams on you. This might not make sense to a lot of people, and that's fine. I don't really care. You don't like me, I don't like you. But remember, there's a greater chance that you're going to need me than I need you. And I mean that respectively. Thanks for watching Affiliated Canine. Remember, it's the holiday season. If you know someone that's thinking about getting a puppy, try to encourage them to get a rescue or an adoption or help out. If you want to get a dog and you can't get a dog right now, try to help out someone that does have a dog. If you know a friend that has a puppy and you got some extra time, offer, hey, you mind if I come by while you're at work? Take the puppy out. Believe me, the puppy will appreciate it, you'll love it, and the owner, who should be your friend, would appreciate you doing that for them. Because everybody likes and shares and blah, 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 blah. But only the ones that show up are the ones that care.